everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I don't even know what series we're on. I think we're on part 4 of the Tuesday travel series. I've been recording for about an hour already and I'm still super excited about it, but I'm losing track. So, hello, hi, how are you? If you're new here, hi, my name is Chelsea. I'm a travel agent from Canada, and this is my journey on to living overseas. I am moving to the UK as soon as COVID allows. So I'm glad that you're here, and today I think we're going to talk about how I'm able to afford to move to Europe. So stick around, get comfortable, grab yourself some wine if you'd like, and we'll just get into it. When I first started saving up was right after COVID started, so March of last year. This is something that I've been considering doing for a very, very long time. I would say probably almost about 10 years of my life. This is something that I've wanted to do, and I'm finally bringing it to fruition. Really, the motivations behind that, I think I talked about this in a previous video, but between COVID and a breakup and really wanting to get myself back out there and enjoy and love life again, those were basically my main motivators for wanting to move abroad, or actually taking the step to move abroad. Another thing that I talked about in a previous video, just a quick recap, I was in the process of starting this journey about 5 years ago, but I was also starting a new relationship at the time, so I decided not to go, and I decided to stay here, and no regrets, because it was a beautiful relationship. It lasted 6 years, but now I'm single and I'm ready to get back out there and do my thing. So that was just a quick recap. Let's just get into today's video. So today I'm going to talk about how I'm able to afford to move to Europe. So I did just mention that I started saving up March of last year. Honestly, if I hadn't hit some forks in the road, I'd probably be able to afford it already, but because life happens, I've had to unfortunately take some money out of those accounts and put them elsewhere because I'm an adult and I needed to put on my big girl pants. So that meant sacrificing my travels, but that's okay because it was COVID anyway and I wasn't going anywhere. I am really, really lucky to be in a situation where I talked about the relationship, and it was very healthy. We had a very healthy breakup and we're still very good friends. And the entire time we've lived together, we had an agreement where he pays the rent and I pay for groceries, and it's still like that, and it saves me a lot of money, especially because I don't make that much, especially because I'm a travel agent and nobody is traveling right now. So yes, so that has been a huge, huge help in me being able to put aside so much money for this trip. Now, when I first started saving up, costs were a lot cheaper. If you don't know, I am moving to the UK. I don't know if I said that. So between Brexit and COVID, everything has just kind of gotten a lot more expensive. So in the very beginning, when I first started saving up, it was only going to cost me about $5,000 all in, which is very, very affordable, honestly. However, it has since changed, and it's going to cost me about $2,000 or $3,000 more now than it would have a year or two ago, which is perfectly fine because we're still in COVID world. We are seeing light at the end of the tunnel, but who knows when it's going to end, right? And I have the rest of the year to save up, so I'm very, very motivated. I do have my notes over here, so if you see me looking down, that is why. Cost breakdown, they keep changing it. Every time I look at it, it's a different number, but this is how much you need in pounds, which today is what it equals. So I'll do the exchange rate up here for you. The day that I'm editing this video, this is what the current exchange rate is. That's not to say that it's the same exchange rate that you're seeing on the day that you're watching this video, because as we know, exchange rates fluctuate all of the time. But roughly $5,000 for how much you need to have in your bank account saved up. That does not include the visa fees. That doesn't include any passport fees, any health charges. There's like an NHS fee you have to pay to go to the UK to cover your full 2 years, which I think is about £600, so roughly $1,200. So it is pricey. It's not cheap by any means, but it is affordable. If you can afford to go out and party every weekend, if you can afford to go shopping every weekend, you can definitely afford to put away some money to give yourself a bigger, better experience. No judgment if that's what you love to do. That's perfectly fine. For me, the only thing I really want in my life is a lifetime full of adventures around the world. So I sacrifice buying a lot of things so that I can save up for this trip. Speaking of sacrifice, that is another thing. I do love to shop. No judgment there. I love to shop. I'm a girl. I'm very, very girly. I love anything girly. And I love stuff. I did mention in a previous video that for the last few years, I've just been like accumulating all of this stuff that I just don't need. And it kind of, it changes your lifestyle. And I really want to get to a point where I can just live simply out of a backpack. Not necessarily as a minimalist, but a temporary minimalist. I don't like to put that kind of commitment on myself because I'm flaky AF, and I would probably come home and start accumulating more things if I felt like it was going to fill a void in my life, which is basically what it has been for me. But since I set this goal for myself, seriously, I have been saving since March of last year, but not seriously until my ex and I broke up about 6 months ago. So for the last 6 months, I've been really sacrificing my shopping habits, my spending habits. I do treat myself every now and again, but I do budget very, very strictly. I never spend more than maybe like $150 a month, which is still a lot, but it's a lot less than what I was spending before. So that's another thing that really helps me save money. Mostly just the motivation, honestly. Like before, I've never felt, I don't think I've ever felt so motivated to do anything in my entire life. I think that this is something that I really need to do with my life, and it's something that I've wanted to do for so long. And I feel like this is going to be my reward for getting through breakups, getting through COVID, getting through 2020, getting through 2021. I feel like, a 28th birthday present. Like, it's such a reward, and it feels so good to be able to say that I'm doing this all on my own. Now, I do have to give credit to Michael, my ex-boyfriend, my roommate, because he does pay for a lot of things in the house, and I'm so lucky and I'm so fortunate to have that situation in my life. It was an agreement that we had when we were together, and it works for us. It worked for us before, it still works for us now. So that is another thing that I'm super, super lucky for. And I know that that's such a privilege to have, because I know that a lot of people, Canada right now is so expensive. The entire world is expensive, and not everybody can afford to do it. So, I mean, as affordable as it may sound to a lot of people still can't do it. And you know what? 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it either. So, I mean, it's just rewarding to be able to work towards something like this, and to have people in your life that are super supportive about it. Having the support is really, really important. My mom, for example, I'm very close with her. And in the beginning, when I talked about going, she kind of went into a little bit of a panic mode. Like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go live by yourself in a foreign country. You're going to be scared. You're going to want to come home. I'm going to miss you. And yeah, all of those things may be true, but I do have a lot of extroverted energy, but I'm still an introvert, and I need to be able to recharge that. And I feel like those kinds of adventures, when I can get out and do something that makes me feel really good, something that fills me up with joy, is travel. And this is something that I need to do with my life. It's just something that I have to go and do. So that motivation to really get that passion back into my life has also been a huge motivator. I don't really know how to explain it. Like, you want something, you save up for it. It's the same thing. You want something that badly, that, so much, you work for it, and that's what I've been doing. So that motivation is a huge thing that really helps me figured out. I don't shop nearly as much as I used to. Also, the visa that I'm going on is a work visa. So, really, the only money that I need is the bare minimum. So, all of the requirements, as long as I have all of that, I will be okay. Because I can find a job as soon as I get there if that's something that I really need to do. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in the video at all, but I am an independent contractor. I am a travel agent. Unfortunately, with the state of the world, there's no money to be had at the moment. I am, thankful that I do live in Canada, where the government benefits for people who have lost their job because of COVID are very, very good. I'm not struggling by any means. So that's another thing that I'm really, really thankful for. I still have a decent income coming in, which is another thing to be really, really fortunate for, because being a travel agent, you do work on commission, and it's not instant commission. You don't get paid until the people travel. So I likely will not be making any money until 2022 as a travel agent, probably. Unless places start opening up later this year, but it's really, really hard to say at this point. I do work, I'm technically self-employed, so I will be able to work remotely, which is really nice. I'm just going to try and save up as much money as I can now so that I can kind of drift around and, work from the fucking Swiss Alps if I want to. My goal right now is to save as much money as possible so that I can drift for as long as I possibly can. The dream life is kind of to be able to, be selling travel from the Swiss Alps, being able to sit outside of a castle in Scotland and sell my Canadian friends a flight to come visit me. That's sort of like my dream life, and that's sort of like where I imagine my life going. And I really, really hope that it ends up being that way. I also have really big goals with this channel. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I hope that I can get to a point where it does become a job for me. I would love that. I would love to be able to travel and get paid. I think that's sort of the dream for everybody. So I feel like in terms of my career path, I'm definitely on the right one. I'm definitely where I want to be right now. I'm really excited to see if I get to where I want to be in the future. So that's another thing that is really a big goal of mine for how I'm able to save while I'm in Europe, and how I'm able to save for my trip to Europe. That is this video this week. I think that was part 4. Did we say that already? Anyways, that was Travel Tuesday for this week. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm a little bit scatterbrained at the moment. Again, I've been pre-filming, so same hair, same clothes. You're gonna see it throughout the entire series, probably. So, thank you for stopping by. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I'm really excited that you're here. I hope you stick around for the journey. I'm really excited to show you everything that's going to come up in the future. I feel like I have so many amazing ideas for videos for you, and I can't wait to show you around Europe when I finally get there. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited. So, stick around, get comfortable, and enjoy the flight, and I'll see you next time. Bye.